This week, we received the best royal news in a while, that Princess Catherine is back. And for many of you royal lovers like myself, this was a bit of an emotional moment. 6 months after her last public appearance, the Princess of Wales has officially returned for the King's birthday parade, and she's completely annihilating the ridiculous speculations that have circulated over the last few months. And like clockwork, her sister-in-law Meghan Markle has shared a new line of jams and products, and the timing has made people really upset. Despite it all, Princess Catherine has taken a strategic, silent, resilient revenge to relaunch herself into the public after the tumult of conspiracies and attacks. Hi, I'm Hannah, and today we're exploring the power of the classically feminine strategic response that she has taken, the potentially subtle message she was sending in her wardrobe on her return, and how she continues to succeed in the midst of bullying and questionable accusations and actions from her sister-in-law. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content like this, exploring the royal trends, traditions, and lifestyles for an elegant and inspired life. Despite rampant speculation that the Princess of Wales would not be joining her family for the King's annual birthday parade this year, she broke her silence on Friday night, and she released a personal and very heartfelt message alongside a beautiful new photo of her under a tree in Windsor Park. The statement shared how she still has several months of treatment left, but she's had good days and bad days. The well wishes that she's received have sustained her in these difficult times, and she's really relying on her family for support. She shared that she will, in fact, be returning to duties over the summer as her health allows, and the biggest news of all, that she would be back in public at Trooping the Colour the next day. In an effort to rally around her father-in-law, the king, and celebrate his traditional birthday festivities, it's interesting that she chose a family event to make her resurgence. Over the last few weeks, so many theories have risen to the surface again that something more sinister was happening than her chemotherapy, but her strategic effort to announce her comeback before the big day of Trooping the Colour really made sure to take the attention off of herself and onto the king on his big day. Thus, she didn't overshadow the king, although the attention was very much on her, but instead she placed herself back in the spotlight alongside the most important people to her in her family. So Saturday morning, she stepped back out into the world for Trooping the Colour, and she looked completely rejuvenated. But instead of picking a personal event, like one of her own initiatives to make a comeback, she chose a time to display her love of motherhood, family, and her values rather than just going solo. She had her children by her side and displayed her most important work, motherhood. This strategic reappearance is emblematic of her broader strategy to point to efforts larger than herself. The weather for Trooping the Colour was a complete downpour, which is hard to tell from the gorgeous photographs and the coverage of this day. But the king and queen greeted the crowds from a horse-drawn carriage. While he too is undergoing chemotherapy for cancer, he usually goes on horseback in the past years. And despite the gray day, Catherine chose a recycled bright white dress that was reminiscent of another character whose story arc of resurrection and resilience may have been in the back of her mind. For her return to the public eye, it's hard to deny that Catherine didn't take inspiration from one of the great classical femininity icons of all time, Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. From the color scheme to the hat and the obviously similar bow and stripes, there's an air of resilience personified in this famous outfit that I'd like to think Catherine intentionally wore. My Fair Lady tells the story of Eliza Doolittle. She's a flower merchant on the streets of London that rises through the ranks of society, overcomes obstacles of abuse, bullying, setbacks in her education, and even discrimination. In the end, she reigns supreme and arrives at the royal ascot in a spectacular outfit, and she declares before everyone in society that she has and will overcome. And I'd like to think that this same dignified perseverance is reflected in Catherine's ensemble for Trooping the Colour. From her days being bullied as a gold digger to rabid, unfounded speculations that her marriage is in shambles and much more sinister things, I'd like to believe that this outfit choice is a subtle strategy, one nodding to her overcoming, just like Eliza, and that big things are still ahead. Catherine is very pointed with the things that she wears, be it earrings that she received as a gift from a child, wearing the national colors while visiting the nation's community center, or wearing Princess Diana's favorite flowers to a memorial for her late mother-in-law. Known for her ability to bring new life to old outfits, this trooping style was recycled from one of her coronation celebration dresses from last May. She updated it with that bow and new belt, and I'm continually amazed by this skill of hers. She just beautifies what she already has instead of buying brand new things. And this is a huge mark of a classically feminine woman, from taking and beautifying things, because we women are beautifiers. We take a house and make it a home. We take ingredients and make a meal. We take a room and make it a place to live. There's just one of our many talents. And Catherine does this so well, even throughout all the attacks that she's faced, and certainly in her return. Just mere hours before Catherine was set to make her grand entrance back to public life, and only shortly after her statement was released, one of Prince Harry's closest pals unveiled the latest projects from American Riviera Orchard on his Instagram. Now, you'll remember in my last video that I dove into this strange marketing strategy that Meghan Markle's new lifestyle brand has taken, or lack thereof. And this is exactly what I predicted might happen next. After months of radio silence since the launch of her new lifestyle Instagram and her blank website, which took place during the Princess Diana Memorial, 2 new products for her brand were shared by the Sussex's polo friend Nacho Figueres: raspberry jam and dog treats. Now, let's consider for a moment that this was simply posted of his own accord, and he's simply very excited to share these products. Now, if that's true, then her business has effectively zero PR planning and therefore a lackluster business strategy. You'd have to imagine that her PR plan would be articulated to the influencers that she sent the products to, and if not, it's totally poor planning overall. Well, considering the revolving door of staffers at her business, this might very well have fallen through the cracks. But with Meghan's focus on her portrayal in the media, it's hardly considerable. So if this post was part of a broader marketing plan, then it was clearly and deliberately posted just hours before Trooping the Color to circulate Meghan Markle's name in accordance with Catherine's return. Now, considering this move, alongside her plethora of launches and announcements that have coincided with other royal events, it's very hard to argue that this wasn't part of a bigger plan. One that, as I've argued in my most recent video, which you can watch by clicking above, utilizes her new lifestyle brand primarily as a tool just for PR purposes. So no matter how you look at this new product launch of the raspberry jam and dog biscuits for American Riviera Orchard, it's bad news for Meghan Markle, whether she was behind that post or not. It's really practically impossible long-term to relaunch yourself back into the public conversation over and over again, especially without the grace and dignity held by Princess Catherine this weekend at Trooping the Color. Princess Catherine's return was strategic, but not to bring the attention back to herself. Instead, she chose a family event, announced her return in advance so as not to overshadow, and focused on her favorite role, motherhood, to make her way back after extreme scrutiny and bullying. Unlike others in her family, who turn the tables back to themselves to gain attention continually, Catherine is using classical femininity, which is an extremely powerful tool to direct her attention to what matters to her. She hasn't addressed the hatred she's endured, but rather, by highlighting others and dressing the part, she has shown. For Father's Day this year, the Waleses released a beautiful photograph of Prince William and the Wales children on vacation to Norfolk last month. It was taken by Catherine, and the image reminds us that no matter what may come next as she continues on her health journey, family is their most important effort, and Catherine's priority lies there. No matter who is trying to steal her attention or make up lies about her, she will carry on. I am so thrilled to have her back just for a little while. I've been studying Princess Catherine's resilience and enduring elegance for years. And I've even written a whole ebook on the 4 principles of elegance that I discovered in studying her and other classical femininity icons. And I'd love to share that with you. So if you're interested in that, it's linked in the description. Just click that link and I'll send it to you completely free once you put in your email. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.